What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Downstream guys back with another video. Today we have top 10 highest verticals in NBA history. Earlier we react to records that'll never be broken, but I felt like vertical jumps is a record within itself. We gotta react to the top 10 highest. Please just like, comment, subscribe, share. Roll to 200 subscribers. Let's get right into it.
To be great at basketball, you have to love the game and be really skilled. However, it also helps if you can jump out of the gym. Throughout NBA history, there have been many guys athletically able to do things that are beyond belief for ordinary humans. In this video,
Shannon Brown was a beast. Yeah, Shannon Brown on the Lakers was a beast.
We'll go over the players with the highest vertical jumps of all time, for those players who have official measurements. Shannon Brown, 44.5 inches.
I knew his vertical was like that. Like, I remember they called him for a goaltender or a foul on like that one block back in the day.
You can impress Kobe with your athletic ability, you are definitely an above average leaper. Shannon Brown's vertical is 44.5 inches. 44. And even though he was a role player throughout his career, his athletic prowess was breathtaking.
After he left the Lakers, his career wasn't the same.
Brown won 2 titles with the Lakers in 2009 and 2010, where he played the best basketball of his career. He also appeared in the 2010 dunk contest, but surprisingly couldn't get past the first round.
Yeah, surprisingly he was bad in that 45 inches, but Shannon Brown was bad in that dunk contest. Surprising me big time.
45 inches. It's unreal that a 285-pound man that's built like a tank can jump as high as Zion can. Zion is like a Tesla Model X, an SUV that can win in a race against a sports car. With the 45-inch vertical, Williamson is one of the most athletic players in the NBA. Even as a rookie, he's one of the most challenging guys to guard, and we've seen players simply bounce off his large body. At his time at Duke, he successfully completed a dunk from the free throw line, leaving all GMs drooling to get the #1 pick. Hopefully, he'll remain injury-free so we can all enjoy the game of this physical marvel. Spud Webb, 46 inches. When you hear that the third shortest guy who ever played NBA basketball is also a slam dunk champion, you think, it can't be right. But in the case of Spud Webb, it is. Webb was not blessed with height, but he had hops and then some. His vertical was 46 inches, and it allowed him to play the game of giants. Before the gravity did its thing, only for a little while, Spud was as tall as everybody else on the court. He will mostly be remembered for his time in Atlanta, where he achieved a feat that many thought it wasn't possible for him to achieve. The 1986 Slam Dunk Contest was the most memorable highlight of Webb's career, and the world was in shock when he defeated the 6'7" Dominique Wilkins with two perfect 50-point scores in the final round. Derrick Jones Jr., 46 inches. In a somewhat controversial fashion, Derrick Jones won the 2020 Slam Dunk Contest.
Aaron Gordon got robbed.
Dwayne Wade has been a great playmaker his entire career, and it's fair to say that we can add one more assist to his total talent. Nevertheless, even though Aaron Gordon deserved to win, so did Derrick Jones. His dunks
but that dunk contest was definitely a classic. That dunk contest was definitely a classic, though.
6-inch vertical leap. When Jones Jr. elevates, it really feels like he is gliding through the air. And it's not just for the show. As he is
I knew he threw that one in, but it's difficult. Like, he was back there for real.
Gliding through the air. And it's not just for the show, as he is probably the best in-game dunker in the NBA today. He's not the most important guy for the Miami Heat, averaging 9 points per game, but he's certainly the most dazzling. Zach LaVine, 46 inches. While many of today's NBA players can dunk, not everybody can really fly like LaVine. When the photo of your slam dunks looks fake because it seems impossible that you could actually dunk from that far, then you know you got hops. Zach LaVine is a proud owner of a 46-inch vertical jump and is widely regarded as one of the most athletic players of the new NBA generation. Zach won 2 slam dunk contests in 2015 and 16, and his dunk duel against Aaron Gordon was arguably the best slam dunk contest of all time.
That dunk contest was the greatest, for real. The 2019 one was pretty good, but I'll just give the Zach LaVine Aaron Gordon battle for it. That one was.
He tore his ACL in 2017. It seemed like his jumping ability would be diminished.
That's crazy though. He did. I didn't remember that, but I know he got injured back then. But he tore his ACL and come back with these hops.
But he managed to return to.
So his hops probably used to be higher than this.
LaVine added a reliable jump shot as well, and is playing the best basketball of his career, averaging over 25 points per game for the Bulls this year. James White, 46 inches. James White did not have a stellar NBA career, appearing in only 67 games with the averages of 2.7 points in less than 9 minutes per game. He was more popular overseas than he was in the States, and his career story is that of a great dunker, not so much a great player. Nicknamed Flight, James White could really soar when he turned on the Jets. With the highest measured vertical of 46 inches, dunking was his specialty, and he was famous for various between-the-legs acrobatics. He appeared in many dunk contests in various leagues, including the 2013 NBA dunk contest.
He didn't quite clear it, but that was still fire.
He won an NBA championship with the Spurs in 2007, even though he didn't.
I didn't know he won a ring. I just remember him being on the Knicks.
The second of playing time in the playoffs. Jason Richardson, 46.5
inches. Jay Rich.
Jason Richardson was the fifth pick in the 2001 NBA draft after a successful 2-year stint for Michigan State University, where he won the 2000 NCAA title. Drafted by the Warriors, Jay Rich dazzled with his scoring and exceptional athletic ability. With his 46.5 inch
I'll never forget where he was getting older. He did that 360, tried to do that 360 dunk, and LeBron came out of nowhere and chased it down. It low-key did look like, looking back at it, low-key was a foul, but it still was pretty impressive.
The most athletic player in the league in the early 2000s. Considering he played at the same time as Pete Carter, T-Mac, and Kobe, that is definitely something to be proud of. In the manner of Sean Kemp,
people talk about this era being the greatest, but early 2000, like not greatest, but like they mean like from a skill from a pure talent point of view. I don't know, but I feel like that last era for skill, because players had to be good at everything. Now it's like if you don't got defense and a 3-point shot. Back then you had to be athletic, you had to know how to shoot, mid-range three, be a decent 3-point shooter. Like you had to be able to do everything.
And his dunks made a regular appearance on the NBA Top 10. His out-of-this-world bounce helped him to win the 2002 and 2003 Slam Dunk Contest, and Jay Rich became the first player since Jordan to win it back-to-back. Richardson was a part of We Believe Warriors and 7 Seconds or Less Suns before finishing his career in Orlando and Philadelphia. Dennis Smith Jr., 48 inches.
His vertical was crazy too. Yeah, and they was making it, 50-inch vertical. Yeah, I remember. He was nice his rookie year in Dallas, but once they traded him to New York, he wasn't the same.
It's like winning a basketball lottery. It will often bail you out when your skills are not as developed. That can be a gift and a curse, as some players can rely on their athleticism too much and don't perfect other parts of their game. Dennis Smith Jr. is one of those players. He can jump like Michael Jordan and has the same 48-inch vertical as him, but he's far away from his areas. Smith's career has been relatively disappointing so far, and he's averaging only 5 points per game for the Knicks this season. Despite those springs in his legs, he doesn't look like a starting NBA point guard as of yet, and will have to
he looked like he had so much promise in Dallas, though.
Big expectations. Darrell Griffith, 48 inches. When we think about the NBA high flyers of the 80s, the first associations are Jordan, Dominique, and Dr. J. With the 48-inch vertical, Darrell Griffith's jumping ability was up to par or better than those players, even though his legacy is somewhat forgotten compared to them. Griffith was the best player for the University of Louisville that won the NCAA title in 1980. He won the Most Outstanding Player of the Final Four and the John Wooden Player of the Year award. Utah Jazz selected him with the second pick in the NBA draft, and Griffith was Rookie of the Year in 1981. His acrobatic jumping ability earned him the nickname Dr. Duncanstein. And together with Adrian Dantley, Griffith made one of the best scoring duos in the first half of the 80s. Apart from being a 20-point scorer and a great dunker, Griffith also led the league in 3-point shooting for 2 years. However, 2 severe foot and knee injuries clipped his wings, and he wasn't Dr. Duncanstein no more. His production declined, and Griffith was forced to retire at age 32. He played in Utah his entire career, and his number is retired by the team. Michael Jordan, 48 inches. Michael Jordan was destined to be great at basketball. He had a perfect body for the sport, and his 48-inch vertical and huge hands set him apart from everybody else. Exceptional leaping ability allowed MJ to make dunks from the free throw line, and it seems that for him, the laws of gravity apply a bit less. Jordan was athletically miles away from every player of his era. While others were merely jumping, Jordan would take flight in his Air Jordans and remained airborne longer than any player we've seen before. Combined with his killer instinct and great basketball fundamentals, this created a narrative for Jordan to be the GOAT. A great example of Jordan's athletic supremacy is Larry Jordan, Michael's brother. Larry was 5'8" and was not a pro basketball player, but Larry could also be called Air Jordan because he had a 44-inch vertical and could dunk with ease.
Dang.
For example, Vince Carter's vertical is 43 inches, which tells you how genetically gifted Jordan was.
Alright. I'm surprised Vince Carter wasn't on the list. Blake Griffin, Sean Kemp. Well, maybe not those two because they're bigs. So, I guess it's easier for a big to dunk. And Aaron Gordon, those four names kind of... But I guess because Zion's a big. But anyway, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Share the video. Roll to 200 subscribers. Original link will be in the description. And we out. Peace.